Alright. Let's go in, and before I forget and assume that I've started the D&D Beyond maps, we're there. Uh, so, alright, we're good to begin this session, but before we get too far into our recaps, why don't we go around and have a quick learn about who we got at the table?
I will start. I'm Connor. I'm playing Valen. He is a drow shadow magic sorcerer who's traveling these lands of Barovia with his shadow hound companion Nyx.
Alright, heck yeah.
I'm Caitlin. I'm playing Jinx. Jinx is a mischievous and curious Blackford Tabaxi rogue inquisitive. This week's fun fact about Jinx. So, during one of the long rests last session, once they were out of the mountains and in slightly warmer areas, Jinx did his daily check on Gerald. And to his delight, noticed that he was back swimming around like nothing had happened and had been all thawed out. He noticed some hairline fractures on the inside of the glass, but the outside looked unaffected. So he looked off into the distance and smiled, thinking, maybe things will be okay after all. And then he glanced down into Gerald's glass orb and saw his reflection, and that is when he noticed that the grin on his face is sinister, and it made him feel very uneasy, and therefore his relief was very short lived.
All right, I guess I'm up next. I'm Samir. I'm playing Ephraim Cash, who is a brass dragonborn monk. He's been here in Barovia for a little bit, and right now he's just wandering, collecting herbs for remedies and that kind of thing. Fun fact, he's a Way of Mercy monk, which makes him able to kind of heal, and that's kind of what he does as a vocation for the time being. And fun fact about him is recently he tried to make herbal remedies from cave lichen, and it just made him sick. It didn't give him visions.
Alright. Well then, with no further ado, we can dive into our session, where we resume in the marshy ruins of Barovia, uh, particularly the ruins of Perez. Um, and there had been travel from the Amber Temple in the mountains, um, bringing our party of two to the ruins over some travel where they had met one flat top who was trekking in the area, and from there began searching for a gem, a magical seed for the Martikov family, as they had asked for this task to be done. Well, you guys found it, but you also found a fight with the figure Baba Lysaga, who flew off in a swarm of flies. So now you stand outside of uh, the small hut in the massive tree stump, having ransacked the place for things worth. Do you do anything else in this area, uh, Jinx and Valen?
I
I would.
assume that we've. So I was just gonna ask. We've already gone to like the chest and everything, right? In this little hut.
I believe you have, yeah. Uh,
Yep,
Okay.
we got a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
Uh, I would love to retreat somewhere away from the scene of the crime. Uh, and maybe, take a breather because that bitch almost killed me.
Uh,
So
there are some abandoned cottages on the other side of the village. If you'd like to go, perhaps see if you can find one that's suitable enough for cover in case the weather turns. Okay. Then
that
let us change our perception here and got you guys all in this area. And so as you are looking, I'm going to ask for either perception or investigation check to see which of these cottages might be able to do the job.
turn to a 10. So that'll be an 18.
All right, so two 18s. Yeah, you would notice.
Z.
Yay.
You would notice that this cottage, not too far from you, seems to have a portion of the roof still intact. But like most rest of the place here, it's in ruins. There's not much here. But as you get closer, with 18s, you would notice what looks to be something inside the ruins.
Like alive or moving.
There does seem to be movement, yes.
Don't
Oh
tell me
man.
she reformed this quickly.
Should should I try and sneak a look?
You can, and I can cover.
Okay. Can I stealth a little closer to see if I can figure out what's in here?
Yeah, roll me a stealth roll.
Oh, that's a natural 20 for a 31.
Ephraim, you had been staying in the ruins of Perez to avoid some misfortune of weather, as you had been traveling the areas looking for new ingredients. And you found cover in one of these abandoned cottages. Recently, you had heard some commotion, what sounded like fighting, not too far from here. What are you doing right now?
What Ephraim's doing right now is he was resting. The commotion seems to have died down. So what he's doing is gathering a little bit of twigs and branches to make a little fire for brewing tea. And he's planning to have some tea before he heads out because the commotion's died down, so he's not super concerned at this point. He doesn't seem to have noticed anything. He's just busy making something warm to like warm his hands and his throat before he departs this temporary rest stop.
Okay. So then, as this is happening, Jinx, you see, of course, this very sort of tall figure, but currently crouched down as he's putting together small twigs. Looks like he's about ready to make a fire. You would notice that this individual, very different from other figures you have seen around Barovia, it seems that he is another stranger, as he is a dragonborn.
Okay. Uh, Jinx is very aware that he's not probably instilling the most confidence when he introduces himself to people right now on account of the fact that he can only whisper and his smile's real creepy. So he's gonna sneak back to Valen.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need another stealth check, or does my nat 20
Your
cover
nat 20 is
me?
going to cover this, I'm going
Okay,
to say.
great. I'm gonna silently pad back to Valen, and I'm gonna whisper, "It looks like it's just a guy."
What did he look like?
Uh, he was dragonborn. I haven't seen anyone else like him around here, so maybe he's also new to this area.
And I will say that kind of catches Valen's attention because, being a drow and despite being on the surface for a little while, he's probably only encountered one or two Dragonborn, period. So, um, so this is news to him of Dragonborn being in Barovia. But I suppose I should handle the introduction then.
Jinx whispers, "I would appreciate it," and then smiles sinisterly.
We'll find a way to get that fixed. um, and then I'll walk over.
Okay.
And I'll do so stealthy, but not like sneakily, but just trying to be.
Trying to keep any other people not knowledgeable of your passing? Like any
Yeah,
threats? Go ahead, roll me a stealth roll.
that's a 30-20.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. And then I'll walk up, and then I assume when I get to the opening, I'll see Ephraim.
Yep, you'll see Ephraim right there. There's no door to sort of close essentially. So
Okay. All right. And then, so kind of once I get to the opening, I'll kind of keep my distance, because it's somebody new, and try not to scare him when talking. I'll calmly say, "Hello there, stranger."
I'm gonna say because everyone's been sneaking, Ephraim probably hasn't noticed. So his back would have been turned, and he'll probably start a little bit and then just kind of slowly like turn, like maneuver around so the fire is between the both of them. And he's gonna grip a spear and just kind of look. Are we? Is it daytime or nighttime? Just for reference.
I believe this is afternoon while you guys are here. Afternoon. But it's still, of
Okay.
course, dark and gloomy. There's no sun that really comes through.
It's mists, but
Yep.
yeah. So it's not nighttime, but he's gonna like look up and see. So Velen is a drow elf, like a pale-skinned elf, essentially, right?
No.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
It's like
what?
gray.
Gray. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I'm not sure how familiar he would have been with drow in general, but he's just gonna have a spear to his side, and he's gonna like not grip it very tightly, but just like kind of look up and say, "Fair afternoon. Uh, you don't seem like a spirit. Are you alive?"
And then Valen will just kind of, like pat himself a few places. I last time I checked. Apologies for startling you. We didn't realize anybody else was out here.
Yeah, I didn't either. Do they seem like they've been in a fight? Like based on like just like everyone's gonna try and link it to like the commotion here earlier, I guess.
So HP wise, I'm at 47. So I probably don't look like I may have like a few scrapes, but if once you see Jinx, Jinx took it pretty rough in that last fight.
I'm on my last legs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You'd see a
As
group
he's
of four now kind of in view, but Jinx looks the worst out of them. This Tabaxi.
well, the dead don't always know that they're dead, but that don't also bleed, from what I remember. So you're probably alive. Do you, I'm brewing tea. You want to warm yourselves by a little fire here?
Uh, sure, thank you.
I'm just gonna like step back a little bit to make sure like there's a bit of space. And then
I'll make my way over.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can do this. I think I have a thing.
You have a thing?
I think I have a thing.
You love things.
I do. I do love things.
And what?
Ah, I do have a thing.
Hey, look at that.
I was hoping it was going to be a sticker.
oh, nice, very nice.
Nice fighter.
He is gonna look at Jinx and say, "You do seem like we were all of you in a scrape. I heard something earlier. I thought it was just beasts again."
Uh, yes, we were at the huts just down the way.
Huh. Well, I think I'm headed back to Kresk at some point, but if you need your injuries taken care of, I can probably cover that, or at least a little bit. I'm no cleric. I don't hold favor with gods, but I can patch folks up a little bit.
I think I'm okay, but like my companion here, he'll Valen will point to Jinx. Did take it pretty rough.
I'm sure.
Um,
Uh, I'm sure a rest will do me good, but if I did take it pretty rough there, so any help would be welcome. When he speaks, he only speaks in a whisper.
I will say also that one of the figures that have been traveling, one of these four, he's kept to the back with a hood atop them. But Ephraim, in the firelight, you would now kind of see him more clearly. He looks to be like a walking corpse that you have seen on these roads before.
is the Shambler with you, folks?
Uh, yes, he is.
Seems friendly for
Strange as
the
it is, I am not actually undead.
I apologize. Uh, you you don't drink tea by any chance, do you?
I've been known to drink tea on occasion.
Well, accept the tea as apologies. I thought you were one of the hungry, ravenous dead. Turns out there are some who aren't either.
So yes, Casimir will accept the tea. But
I think Ephraim can probably say to Jinx that if you allow, I can try to cure your injuries somewhat. Um, I don't know where you're all headed. I'm potentially headed back to the village of Kresk. I have to talk to the Mordekovs there, but
We were just on our way to the Wizard of Mind's winery for another stop. I believe that's on the way.
you do recall that the Wizards of Winery are run by the Markovs. So
Oh,
when Ephraim says that name, you do kind of make that
oh,
association.
I'll recant what I said then. Oh, what the? We're actually on our way to the Wizard of Mind's winery. We've met the Montecots.
We have something for them, actually.
Good. I guess it seems like we're headed in the same direction. In that case, if I can take the favor of the traveling along with you, let me do what I can to mend your wounds. Um, he's gonna ask permission to kind of like it's not like spells or potions. I do have to feel the, is it pressure points? Anyway, I can't tell you exactly how it works. I can tell you it will mend your bones and heal your skin of the scrapes.
Whatever works, man. I'm in no position to turn down help.
Perfect. I'm sure I remember how to do this on, yes. I mean, don't think I've tried treating a tabaxi before, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. He just like
Great.
mumbled to himself as he just kind of like feels for like pressure points along like the elbow and the wrists and so on. And then I'll spend okay, I've got a couple. So I'll spend 2 focus points on healing. That'll be 2d8 plus 6. 15 plus 6, 21
Ooh,
HP.
thank you.
Subtract those.
Excellent first impression.
Yeah, Valen's just
Yes.
kind of watching this, kind of how Ephraim's working, kind of what he's doing. That's mighty impressive.
Uh, it works most of the time, except when it doesn't. It worked this time, so
And I
Thank you.
almost forgot. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you. I'm feeling much better.
Do you smile after you say that?
I was gonna
I-
ask. Like I said,
He's been trying not to, but I think he's so relieved that he's feeling not on death's door anymore that he does smile. But when he does, it looks very evil.
it's gonna be well. Uh, he's gonna like back away like 2 steps. He's like, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm just gonna stay here.
I'm sorry. I've got to. I made a deal with someone I maybe shouldn't have for some knowledge, and now I can only speak in a whisper, and my smile looks not very friendly.
Everyone's gonna just shake his hand, like mutter under his breath about like magic. That's like just like this is why I don't trust magicians. Like, muttered very quietly under his breath, but
Apologies, my friend. I almost forgot. I don't believe I asked your name.
I'm Ephraim. Ephraim
Oh,
Kesh. Um, by the looks of you all, I'm guessing you're also not from these lands.
We are not. And can I assume you got here the same way we did?
It's been a little while. Yes. Some of my memory is kind of, he's gonna like scratch his head a little bit, just be like, there's some things that are kind of foggy. But I've been here for a little bit.
As soon as we can finish the introductions, I'm Valen. This is Jinx. And then I'll point down to Thresh's character, who's not here.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I believe, named Flat Top. He's got some sort of weird contraption. I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh,
Above table, I know it's like a revolver or something, but like I'm not supposed to know that. It's just funny as all. Um, yeah, it's the
yeah.
three of us.
And Casimir.
So should we wait a little longer, or should we get moving to the winery?
There will be enough time for a long rest, or not a long rest, a short rest here, so that Jinx can roll some
Yep.
HP.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes. There's two other housekeeping things I was hoping to do on this short rest. I'd love to attune to that cat stone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to, this is gonna come out weird. I'd love to spend a minute rubbing oil over my dagger.
Yeah, that's totally okay.
So that it is magical. If you wouldn't mind while we're sitting here.
Yeah, go for it. I won't stop you.
Take my short rest then.
If we are taking a short rest again now, then I might just recover the focus points I spent.
Yeah, go for it.
Great. And can I ever notice if Jinx is attuning to the luck stone? He's been like, wait, I have one of those. I don't remember where I got it.
Flat Top has one too.
Yeah, I made that joke. We've got a pretty lucky party.
We gotta get one for Valen.
I'm the odd man out.
Yeah, I just got this back there actually.
I've had this for a little while. I just like to look at it, but I just like, I yeah. There's some things I've kind of fogged out. I don't know where I got this, but huh, seems to come in handy.
Alright, so after about an hour, and some minutes, what is the group's plan? Do you plan to just head on out to the winery? Do you want to explore more of the ruins?
The only reason I would want to get to the winery is I do not want to take my chances if that Baba the Saga shows back up.
Yeah, I don't want to be here when she returns.
Yeah, that is
Definitely not.
a smart thought to have.
How noticeable is the gem, the glowing green like pine cone that we're carrying?
Well, you can't make it not glow, so
So even if it's like inside like a backpack or something, is it still
kind of, yeah.
somewhat
Like
okay, great.
out of the seams 100%.
Yeah. So we kind of got a target
I don't
on
think
us
that's
if she
the
comes
only
back.
reason why you've got a target. Oh,
No, but that's a visible, very visible one.
true. All right. So, then with that, uh, you are able to set out. Uh, and you know that taking the northern road will get you back to the main Svalich road, which from there you can take to the Wizards of Wine Winery very easily. So,
Wonder if I can have Ephraim kind of use his little bit of knowledge of traveling here to kind of stay ahead of or avoid um, animals or the like, or just kind of follow a safe trail if you can.
mhm. As your group is leaving, um, you would all hear the sounds of battle. However, the fog here has now grown so thick you can hardly see maybe anything before 60 feet in any direction. From there, it starts to uh, get lost. But as you're looking around, you would all notice that the fog begins to take on the forms of soldiers on horseback. You see them charging across the fields, and they collide. There's armored pike bearers that wear devil horned helmets. You see these shadowy, fog formed soldiers fall, returning into these fading mists. There are hundreds more, and you hear this storm of screams and clashing metal.
Oh boy.
So the fog is taking the shape of things, but we don't see any actual
You don't see
battle.
you don't see an actual battle. It seems like perhaps some remnant memory. You've seen spectral figures on the grounds before. Perhaps this is another version of that. But they don't seem to be interested in you and your group.
They talk of spirits along the old Svalich Road, but never seen the like of this before. It's probably a good thing they're not interested in us for now.
We saw a procession of them once, but not a battle.
You hear this thunderous roar, and looking up, you would see this dragon, huge. It's made of silver gleaming mist as it glides overhead. It disperses enemy soldiers with each flap of its mighty wings as its long reptilian tail slices through the air above you. You see as the dragon carves a swath through the fog and affords you the fleeting glimpse of a dark mansion overlooking the valley.
What is that? Where is that? He's just thinking out loud at this point after seeing what the party's saying.
The dark mansion at the edge of the valley. I can kind of take a guess.
It is not Castle Ravenloft.
Really? Oh, really? Okay. That was going to be my first impression. Okay.
Yep, I know exactly where you were thinking that, but no, it is not that. Um,
Is it so? One question here: the direction that we see the mansion here, is it basically opposite the direction of the village or the winery, or is it in the same direction?
I'm gonna find out for you. It is actually not terribly far from you. It's more. It's again more northerly. Um, it would be a slight detour off this path. To take uh to the main road, but it is. If you go there, you'd still be able to move in the direction towards the winery. After any potential investigations.
Is it getting later in the day now? If it was afternoon when we were
Yeah,
taking a rest?
it is getting later. Yes.
I wonder if that place would afford us shelter.
Fog's kind of all around us still, isn't it? And that's kind of the way we have a clearing, kind of.
For a brief
Everyone's gonna be
moment,
like,
yeah.
uh-huh. Everyone's gonna look around at the fog and like the clashing. He's gonna think out loud again. He's gonna be like, well, still finding my bearings, but that's almost on the way we would have gone. And that's a direction we can go. I am not so sure walking into the mist would be the best idea.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Just for familiarity's sake, I say we take the main road out of here and back to the main road.
Oh, so yeah, everyone's gonna be on board with that. So we'd be heading like kind of northeast at this point, or
We can go here. So, currently, your group is here. The direction that you had seen the dragon cut through is here. So you could take the path to the main road to the crossing, and then find your way back down.
let's do that.
All right, I'm on board.
Okay. So this will take a bit of time. You still have a few hours that you can travel this day before needing to camp again. Pressing through the fog past the battlefield, wary as you may be, the fog sort of dissipates after you have passed this phantom battlefield. And you can get back to moving through and past the lands of Barovia. I'm going to ask for a group survival roll when it comes time to make camp, to find a place that is suitable.
One person for the entire group.
I'm gonna say this will be everyone rolling together, and I'll take an average.
Okay,
That's
Right.
great. I rolled a 7.
rolled a 10.
I rolled an 11, the +7. So, yep, that
Okay.
sounds all right.
Cool. I have your results in mind. You do find a place to camp, and as you are setting up camp, do you plan on having a watch this evening? And if so, what will be the order?
I can go first.
Okay.
I do a
Okay.
watch.
Yeah, Ephraim is relatively unscathed, so he can go second. He can see in the dark a little bit, so should be all right.
I guess that means I'm third.
All right. And who will Casimir join? Well, I can't see that result, so I'm gonna roll here. Casimir will join Valen.
Yay!
Broke the streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally.
So,
Why, who is he joining every time for?
Me.
yeah, so far it's been a lot of Jink. Um,
Yeah.
I want to think there was some Mograine in there, but
I think there was, yeah.
yeah. All right.
I'm the one that kept persuading him to talk about his backstory.
Yeah. All right. Let's just do a quick little for no reason.
DM snipping.
Nope.
Why do we need a battle map if we're resting, Faye?
Don't worry about it.
The rain is pretty cool, though.
It is, ain't
Yeah, I
it?
was just gonna say, it's
I was
nice.
gonna. Oh, this is probably why she wants to show off the effects.
Yeah, that's gotta be it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is pretty cool, though.
All right, so get nice little fire. Some tents for people.
Fancy.
Where did that tent go? Oh, I didn't add it yet. All right. So there we go. Nice little camp set going on. Pop a bedroll down as well. All sorts of good things. So,
Yep.
you and Casimir are on the first watch.
That's right. Need a perception check from me.
I do need a perception check from you.
That's a natural one.
Good to know.
Come on, Casimir.
Cool. I have Casimir's result. He at least got to double digits. So, what does your watch look like, Valen?
Oh boy, it's a lot. Because we've been through a lot. Don't be wrong, I have kind of like having Flat Top as a companion now. I'm still trying to figure out that whatever wacky contraption that is. But also a part of him though, because it's still recent, still kind of feeling the loss of Mograine because it was very, very sudden. And being in the underground, he is somebody who has seen death before. So he's not, but he's not completely unfazed. Like it still affects him, and there were plenty of times where Mograine had his back. So, um, yeah, just kind of get lost in thought with that.
Okay. Casimir himself seems lost in thought. He sits opposite to you on the fire, and the flames, the shadows, really emphasize his now sunken, withered, almost decaying countenance.
Mm. Like Valen wants to say something, but he's not really sure.
Casimir does not offer up his own insights. Too consumed in his mind, it seems. But besides that, your watch goes by without issue. Meaning, Ephraim, we come to your turn at watch, which will begin with a perception roll, if you would please.
All right. A dirty 20.
Beautiful. That is an excellent roll. And if you would please, describe to me what Ephraim's watch looks like.
It's gonna be grumbling a little bit about the rain to himself and say, I should have stayed in the cottage. And he's gonna first thing I'm gonna do is buy a cloak. He's grumbling about needing to get a cloak. He's gonna be just kind of with a spear in hand. He's going to make a kind of circular route, so just kind of wandering around. So basically, just wandering around the boundary of where the tent is, and just kind of stopping every so often along along here, or and then like along the four corners of where the tents are, and just kind of looking within the woods to see if he can make anything out before just kind of resuming just like a square route around the tents.
It's about maybe an hour into your watch, when with your 20 on perception you would spot something. You are looking off in this direction where you
Okay.
can see through the trees the pathway that you had been walking that leads to the Svalich route. Max, are you gonna come over here? No. At least not right now. The cat's got the zoomies. But yeah, so as you're looking off in that direction, there's this lone figure, and with the way that this figure walks, the way that he holds himself, and the strides, this is someone who doesn't know fear. But as you look a little closer, you can see that this figure is clad in rusted armor. Its longsword, though it gleams, is clutched in a deathly pale hand. And this presence seems ready for a fight at any given moment.
Yikes.
This could be another shambler, another zombie. Um, it definitely has the look of undead.
Um, Ephraim is gonna raise his spear a little bit, just to and quickly say, I don't know, is he gonna hail? First he's gonna kind of announce out loud to the party. Like I'm assuming they're still kind of resting at this point. So
They
he's just
would
gonna
be
quickly,
resting, yeah. But you
yeah.
can
So
interrupt that if there's going to be danger.
I think there is a chance. Um, he's gonna, from what he remembers, like Jinx seemed a little more winded, so he's gonna, and Valen's tent is closer. So he's gonna quickly just like I don't know, throw a pebble or something at the Valen's tent and say, "Company, we've got someone approaches," and then he is at the same after that he's gonna like raise a spear, just kind of in a semi-ready stance, and he's gonna say, "Hey, like, are you lost, friend?" Uh, Something like that, to see if there's a kind of response.
So before we get to that, does Valen respond to Ephraim's alert?
Um, Actually, yep, he would, because even during my trance, I still believe I'm like
You have,
conscious.
yeah, you do have awareness during trance. This is correct.
Yeah. So yeah, he would feel a pebble being thrown at him. Um, and then from where I am, when I look up, do I see this figure too?
Yes. If you move next to where Ephraim is and is looking in the distance, you'd be able to see this figure.
Okay.
And as you call out Ephraim, the figure stops in its march, and the longsword is held now a little bit more at the ready.
Can I step a little closer, like just to around where Jinx's tent is? So like, just not run closer, but like just kind of steadily walk without trying to be too threatening.
Yeah.
Just
So
so in case something happens, I can close the gap.
yeah. So you can move in the direction of this figure who I'm pretty sure is yeah can't quite see, like, he's distance is off the map, but by not by much. And the figure calls out, "State your allegiance."
We are travelers by night. We carry no standard, my friend.
You travel these roads by way of rather than sun. And as this creature steps closer, uh, both Valen and Ephraim, please make for me a insight check.
15.
Not 20. Oh,
That's great.
Dang.
Um, the two of you would be able to spot this as the entity gets closer. And this figure is, in fact, undead, just as Ephraim, you had assumed so. But what you two of you would see now is it is not a simple undead. There is, of course, intelligence there, but also an intense hatred as it continues moving closer.
Jinx, sorry, Ephraim is gonna stab his spear into kind of right next to him to the border of Jinx's tent. Like, incoming. Incoming.
Right?
Hopefully not at Jinx himself, but anyway.
You're good. It's enough to alert Jinx.
Am I able to stand and exit this tent?
You are, as we've got our buddy joining us. We're gonna roll initiatives.
Oh boy. Okay.
3.
I do not know why the other rolls are not showing up for me.
They're not showing up on the website for me, but they are showing up in the app. So I think it's just some website stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I got a 14.
I rolled real bad and got a 10.
I got a 17, so 23 overall.
Nice.
Where are my encounters at? There we are. So, at the start of this encounter, Ephraim, it is you.
Okay. It's about. So one question here, like, are the woods passable as regular terrain, or would they be kind
Yeah,
of more difficult to traverse?
these are regular terrain woods.
Okay. All right. So we've got a little bit of speed, and okay. He's going to be. So what Ephraim's going to do is you can just see him tense up a little bit. He's going to take his spear in his hand and then kind of get into a runner's stance, and then 35, then 20. Okay, so he's gonna say, let me uh, let's see if how strong this guy is. I intelligent and hateful is a worrisome combination, I think. So he's gonna run towards the Revenant. So it's 33 feet. The intention is for him is like he's gonna go up to the Revenant, try and attack, and then just move back about 20 feet.
Yeah,
Full
for
movement
sure.
is 55. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have him move right to the Revenant. Make he's gonna first try and stab it with his spear, and then burn off a focus point to try and make like 2 kicks at the creature before coming back. So first he's gonna try and attack with the spear, which is not probably gonna. I think it might go wide. 13 probably doesn't hit, I think.
A 13 is just going to hit this guy.
Okay. Right. In that case, I'll. So that'll be 12 piercing damage off one hand. And then with his free hand, he's going to burn off a focus point and try to make 2 strikes against the creature. What he is going to do is, though, if you're, I don't know if the party will be able to see it, but he's just kind of like the attacks would not be bludgeoning. They would be kind of like force damage to the creature. So flurry of blows, 1, 2 unarmed strikes. First one is a 22,
Oh yeah,
which I'm guessing
definitely.
hits. Let me roll the other one as well. If the other one doesn't hit, I'll just roll the damage at once.
Yep.
The second attack is a 16, so I guess both the unarmed attacks hit.
That is correct.
So, okay, so it'll be 1d8 plus 5 twice, so I'll just do 2d8 plus 10 in that case.
Sounds
That
good.
makes sense. Okay. So that is a 12 plus 10, 22. And then, so that's the action, bonus action, and then with his remaining movement of around 20 feet, he's going to run back towards about 20 feet away. So,
All right, and do you have anything that prevents attacks of opportunity against you?
he has speedy, so it means any attacks of opportunity against him will be made at disadvantage.
All right.
So he's gonna take that risk and then just kind of like try and run back.
All right. So, that is disadvantage. So, with disadvantage, that is going to be a 16 to try and hit you.
Okay, AC of 18 should miss, so I will get back to. So what everyone's gonna do is like he's gonna go try and just land some exploratory hits to see how tough this guy is, and then kind of run back to a distance where he can still communicate with the party, and just gonna say, well, he doesn't bleed, but he can be hit. And he's gonna stay there. That is his turn.
Valen, it is your go.
Okay, so I'll move to here. I assume all these squares are 5-foot squares.
Yep, these are regular 5 feet.
Okay, let's see. 30 feet, perfect. Okay, making sure they're range. So, this hating magic thing with Ephraim is about to be very, very interesting. Because I am going to launch a ray of frost at this revenant. That is a natural one. Great first impression.
All right.
Yeah, and I would say when I fire it, it obviously goes off. It whizzes past Ephraim, but hits a tree instead of the revenant.
All right. Anything else from Valen?
I think I need a bonus action on this turn. Nope, that's it.
All right. It is Casimir's turn, and much like Valen, Casimir is one of arcane talents, and is going to step off to the side just to get a clear shot. As Casimir is going to try and strike with a conjured bit of fire, and will be successful in that for a decent amount of fire damage.
Nice.
But that is it for Casimir's turn. And as we come to our Revenant's turn, it, with the blade in hand, steps forward, and the first thing that I am going to ask is for Ephraim to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Yep. Let's make a wisdom saving throw.
This is against the
it's a
frightened
15.
condition. Okay.
Okay.
So 15 is just enough, so you are able to succeed, meaning you are no longer frightened by or you would not be frightened by this thing as a, it moves right between the two of you.
I don't like this.
And with a flourishing of the blade that speaks of years of training and skill, 2 attacks against one each of you.
Okay.
So the first attack is going to be towards Valen with a 14 to hit.
That misses.
And then that will be a 18 against Ephraim.
18, I think. Just my AC is 18, so 18 just hits. I think, or
meets it, beats it. So that's going to be that'll be for 15 points of slashing damage.
okay. Ephraim is gonna use his reaction to deflect attack.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try and, since it is a weapon attack and he knows his way around it a little bit, he's gonna try and maneuver to avoid. So that's gonna be deflect attack, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, reduce total damage by 1d10 plus 13. So I'll roll a 1d10. And I believe 9 plus 13, that should
That brings it.
deflect the attack entirely.
Yeah, that brings it down
Or-
to 0. And
So I'd say like he manages to kind of avoid getting stabbed or diced
yeah,
just by not being where the sword is going to be.
easily done. And then Jinx, it comes to your turn.
Hey, Jinx is gonna be like, "Hey, I've got a big sword too." And he's gonna get the sun blade out, and he's gonna use his bonus action to ignite it. However, you get it to
Yeah.
appear, and he's gonna move up to the Revenant, and he's gonna swing the sun blade
Heck yeah.
at him. That's a 28 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
And this is two-handed because I got nothing else in my other hands. It is undead, yes.
This
so I
is
get an extra
undead.
D8.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna get the D8, and I'm gonna get sneak attack on here also. So that we're at 22 already, and then we're gonna add 16 more on top of that. So that's 38 points of damage.
Lovely.
That'll be my turn.
All right. It is Ephraim's turn once more. What would you like to do?
At this point, can we tell if the revenants, if the hits are kind of making an impact?
Oh,
Or is it just kind of...
I actually meant to do this at the end of Jinx's turn. Our Revenant is now, it seems, dealing with more damage than perhaps it would like. It's a little bit more dazed, a little sluggish. Mechanically, it is bloodied, but this thing does not bleed, so it just looks bad.
Well, there's 3 of us here, so we might be able to make short work. So he's gonna, like, again, he's just thinking out loud. He's going to, this time just forego using the spear entirely and just kind of, like, batter it with his fists and his feet. So, first unarmed strike. First time kind of just elbow to the face, I guess. Be a 17.
Yep.
And that would be 11 bludgeoning, and then he's going to burn off, like, just draw on his reserves and burn off another focus point to make 2 more unarmed attacks. So like another punch to the solar plexus, kick to the head, that kind of thing. And those 2 he's gonna make, like, you'll see, since you guys are close enough, you'll see like the blows are kind of, they're not like physical blows. They're doing kind of like a wave of force damage, kind of. So let's see. Okay, well, that's odd. Okay, there we go. 22 on the first bonus arm strike, and then I'll roll the other one as well. 14. So both would hit.
Both will hit.
Okay. So 1d8 plus 5, 1d8 plus 2d8 plus 10. So that would be 15 plus 10, 25 force damage. And at this point, he would do one other thing because he still has movement, and he's gonna be, well, I don't want you to be able to hit us. So he's gonna, like, just use enough movement to kind of step back. So it'll try and attack him. So he goes, like, step back by about 10 feet, let's say, just over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll go for the attempt to strike as you leave his range. And with an 18, he will just hit.
Yep.
Or this time it will be 21 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so everyone's gonna take the damage. And yeah, so not so lucky this time, but he's gonna stay where he is at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is Valen's turn.
I move away, knowing the Revenant just took their op attack, because they can't have another one.
You want to
I
bet?
want some. I will take that bet.
You're right. This one doesn't have it, but I have other things where it's like. But go ahead, move. It's fine.
Right. Because I want some range. Because the only touch spell I have will probably not work. Um, we'll firebolt it.
Okay.
That is a 24.
A 24 will hit.
A nice round 10 points of fire damage.
All right. And with that, our Revenant will fall. And as the Revenant is no more, I'm gonna close Sirenscape because it's being weird. And we're gonna move to so you watch as the um as the body falls. Um but it does not it falls to the ground in this. But it's over. You've survived. And since the creature no longer moves, you'd be able to see this quite easily. In the rusted remnants of its armor, there is an embossing that almost looks like the head of a dragon.
Does it look like the same dragon or does it resemble the dragon we saw earlier in the mists?
Hard to say for sure. You just saw a dragon. This guy's wearing armor that has a dragon on it. There could be a relation.
I'm gonna say if I'm gonna come by, just stab at the remains a few more times just to make sure.
Easily enough done.
Jinx is gonna turn the glow stick off so it doesn't attract other undesirables.
Yeah, totally.
It's a very bright sword. Is it? Uh, seems to do good work against shamblers.
Yeah, I tend to not like to get up close and personal with enemies, but I make an exception when they're undead because this really packs a wallop.
Well, getting up close isn't that bad. All you have to do is just not be there when the sword or the arrow or the axe comes at you. And most of the time it works. Um, he's just gonna like look down at his arm and realize he was slashed, and he's like, well, sometimes it doesn't. And then he's gonna spend like 2 focus points to heal himself up. Uh, 11 plus 6, 18 HP recovered.
Was it time for my watch, or
I will say that this could. There's still a little left in Ephraim's watch, but if you want to take just a slightly longer watch, easily enough done.
I don't know, Faye. Have I gotten the equivalent of a long rest yet?
No, you'll get the equivalent of a long rest after your full long rest, which includes your watch.
Okay. I just want to make sure if I stay up extra long, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you don't get one. And here's the point of exhaustion.
All right.
I think Ephraim's gonna be happy to just like hand over the watch and be like, I just want to get out of the raid. He's just gonna say this and just head towards whichever tent is closest, just so he can not be wet anymore.
Easily enough done.
That's fair. Jinx puts the hood of his cloak up, but you can see that there's slits in the top, so his ears stick out at the top.
Whichever one will keep me dry.
All right. And Jinx, we come to your turn for watch. I need a perception roll, please.
You got it. Well, that becomes a 10, which becomes a 19.
All right. With a 19, go ahead and describe what your watch looks like.
So I think Jinx finds a spot to stand underneath one of the boughs of the trees. So he's semi out of the rain, and just tries to listen and watch for any incoming threats. And I think as he stands there, he's got his hands in his pockets, and one of them brushes up against the holy symbol of Timora. And he thinks about Mograine and just reflects, kind of similar to where Valen had described on his watch, that he was thinking back on what had happened and how sudden it was. And he kind of just considers the luck that he had experienced finding the holy symbol of his goddess, uh, and just reflects on that a little bit and what that might mean as he continues to listen and watch.
Luckily, your watch goes by with no issue. And with that, you all can press a long rest button as you complete your long rest.
Yay.
All right.
Oh, you recover all your hit dice in 2024 rules?
You do recover all your hit dice in 2024 rules.
Oh, I never noticed that. I had the wrong button clicked because I've never noticed it was a thing before.
All right. At this point, I'm gonna say, looking at our time, we're gonna take our mid-session break, and we'll be back to return to your travels in Barovia. So, just a few minutes, and we'll be back.
Stuff.
we will return to Barovia, having just completed a long rest, but with your travels set out ahead of you, I do believe we had something to be done the morning before your journeys.
Yeah, I was hoping to. Is there like a puddle or something in this clearing?
Yeah, sure, we'll say so.
Jinx is going to crouch down next to a puddle, and he's going to attempt to scry on
Ooh.
whoever is the author of the letter he received a while ago.
Oh,
Hello. Alright, let me just look up the details of the spell. Alright, yeah, wisdom save. What was the DC that was set by this?
I don't have that information. Um,
I will get that information. It is an easy enough information to retrieve.
I don't think I have that information. Let me see if I think I put it into my character sheet. No, it's not in here.
That's alright. I can just do. Alright, so functions like a charm. Charms are in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Sorry, I should have given you more of a heads up that I wanted to do this.
No, you're good. Alright, That doesn't help me terribly much, but it helps me a little bit more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna treat this like a spell scroll. Um, Scry is fifth level. So for your save DC, it will be a 17 on scrying.
That's a respectable amount for someone who doesn't cast magic.
Well, this is a boon from a dark power, so oh, that's another great question I want to ask myself. So this is strange. Um, as you stare into this puddle and try to look beyond, to try and glean information beyond your capabilities, all you see, not even a reflection of yourself, so you know that the magic is working, but all you see are the mists that surround this land.
Can I make an insight check to see if I think the mists are blocking the magic from working, or if I think that means whoever wrote that letter is here somewhere?
Uh, yeah, roll an insight check here.
Okay, well, that becomes a 10, which makes that a 19.
You're somewhat familiar with how magic looks. You've been around it through your profession of gathering strange curious. Um, you've never quite cast it yourself, so you're unfamiliar with the more uh, mechanical aspects of it. But seeing as the spell is supposed to give you knowledge beyond what you're typically able to, um, you think perhaps the mists are what you believe with the intentions you had set out. There are two options that weigh heavily as possibilities. Either the mists were the one to create this letter, or the figure that had written this letter is beyond the mists, therefore beyond what your magic can provide. Oh, sorry, Max.
Okay. All right. Well, I will think on that a bit before I decide to use my other uses of the spell. But you might be stuck with a whispering, evil smiled Jinx for the rest of the Barovia adventures.
So, as rest has been completed and your morning experiment also done, we can return to your travels across the realm of Barovia. By this portion of the travel, I will ask for a single person. You know what? No, we're not going to take volunteers. I'm going to recommend that our newest edition, Ephraim, make our travel check for this day. So one survival roll, please.
Right. Let's see if Ephraim's time as a guide has actually been useful or if he's just been distracted. 24.
24,
Oh
great.
no.
All right, I will keep that 24 in mind as you all travel. Um, about midday, you get to uh, the Luna River cross, the bridge that the stream that you've been traveling next to is just off to the eastern side. You can see that you are now at a crossroads. Continuing to the western half will bring you towards the Wizard of Wine's winery. It will bring you in the direction of Kresk, and also towards that, perhaps a way to get to that mansion you had seen uh, through the mists, through the fog. Um, for Valen and Jinx, you know that traveling along the northern part of the road here would lead to that tower you had seen in your passing travels, just from a guesstimation of how the map functions. And then, of course, to the east, you have uh, quite a few things, the closest being Volaki. But as we reach the crossroads, where would you like to go?
Shall we head west?
And towards the Wizard of I'm sorry, what's it called again? The Wizard of Wines would be practical. And the that strange mansion is almost on our way, isn't it?
Yep.
We drop this glowing gemstone off first, then go to the mansion, or go to the mansion first?
Everyone's gonna ask about the glowing gemstones. Like I think it's kind of visible a little bit through the the backpack or whatever it's being carried in, or like the glow is visible, or
Yeah, like you can see a bit of a green glow through the sort of stitches in the fabric.
Sorry,
well,
did Ephraim ask about it?
I guess yeah, I guess everyone would have asked about it. Just like mostly like he's gonna be like this seems like it's a magic. um, I say this with a bit of caution. I'd say like, are we sure that wasn't what drew the Shambler to us?
Um, Possibly, I suppose. From what we understand, it used to belong to the Faye, the name was Marakovs?
The Martikovs.
Markoviches? Mardikovs, that one. Um, and it helps their vineyard grow. And it was, we understand, stolen from them. And you'd been camping out right next to a hag who had it, and we took it to
I
give
guess
it back.
oh, it's a good thing I slept through that, I think. Um, I think Ephraim's probably going to propose heading back to the Mardikovs first to return the gem, also because he wants to meet them again as well. And like he'll what he like as we're traveling along, he's going to take out one of his like throwing knives and just like kind of whittle like a bit of wood into a little like a toy shape, I guess, like a star or a crescent or something. He's gonna say like this is for the Mardikovs little ones, or like what Martin Vigo, like they like. I drop by every now and then, so I try to take these for them when I go visit.
That's nice. They don't move around on their own, do they?
I don't
The little
believe
wooden
so.
toys.
I
Oh, good.
uh I you know, that's a good question. Not that I know of. I'm not making puppets. These are like. He's gonna look down and he's like, "Wait, am I making puppets?" No, never mind. These are just trinkets. They're not dolls. Nothing that can
Oh, that's
walk around
good.
and haunt folks. I hope.
Good. Jinx wants desperately to look at his backpack to see if the doll is still in the pocket he left it in, but he's also terrified to know the answer. So he's just gonna leave it alone and pretend like it's of course it's in there. Where else would it be?
Schrodinger's doll. I love it.
Essentially, yes.
So I think we're headed to the Mardikovs first, and then maybe the other place.
So
Yeah, but then
as you're traveling, it's another few hours. There is a turn off the main path, heading in a southward direction. This is before you've reached the Martikovs. Specifically on the map, it is. What color do we want to use? We'll use purple for this travel session. It's right here. At this point, it is getting late enough that you should start thinking about camp.
Do we want to camp at a crossroads or maybe just off the path a little bit? If we have to.
I would say a little bit off the road is what we've
Mhm.
typically been doing.
A little off the road is entirely doable. Right. So. There we go. User error is what happened. Moving into a camp area. We'll just go ahead and do a quick little bam, 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 bam.
At least it's not raining.
I can change that.
Is exactly what I was gonna say.
I wish there was a way for me to like add like spontaneous effects like rain and stuff like that to an already existing map. I hope that's on their roadmap when we get that in the future. Alright. So we've got a camp set up. And we'll just add more tokens. You can settle yourself around as you wish. But now it comes to what you would like to do. Discussions of your plans for travel. Or it'll probably take about a day and a half where you are currently to get to the winery, if your guesstimations are correct. You also have watches if you'd like to speak of what you'd like to do there.
I was gonna say I'll pick first or third watch this time, because lightning doesn't strike twice at the same place, right? That's how it goes.
One can hope.
I'll take second watch.
Alright, so that makes it Jinx, Balin, and then Afro. Yeah?
Yep.
And will Casimir go this time? Oh, he's with Jinx again. So, first watch comes round. Jinx, you and Casimir are sat together. Roll me a perception roll.
21.
Good to know. Jinx, what does your watch look like?
I think if it's still light out for the beginning part of it, I think I'll just sit because I can kind of have a decent view around. And I'll glance over at Casimir and I'll ask. Hopefully he can hear me over the crackling of the fire. Because I'm not going to sit directly next to him, but did you find what you were looking for?
There is a moment, and Jinx, perhaps you worry that your own bargain means that Casimir can't quite hear you, but then you see a sort of a nod, perhaps not one that is of agreement, but one of acknowledgement. I have what is necessary. Now I must travel to. Now I must travel to Castle Ravenloft. But I wish to see if perhaps there are brethren that will fight at my side. Of course, if I could choose anyone, I would ask for your group. You seem to have decisions that take you elsewhere. I do not know that I will stay with your group much longer.
Above table, we suspect that Irina's been taken to Ravenloft.
You do believe that perhaps she has already been nabbed by Strahd, and if such the case, that would be at Ravenloft.
Yeah, okay. So Jinx will mention to Casimir. I mean, I think fate is going to take us there eventually. I just don't know that we are ready to go there in the immediate future.
I would like for Jinx to roll me a persuasion.
Okay. Oh, nice. I'm proficient in this, so I can't roll under a 10. That's a dirty 20.
Again, Casimir is quiet, and well, perhaps then I will return to my people for a time. They do need a leader. But if you will be heading to face the Devil's Strahd, you may find me, and we will travel to Ravenloft together.
I think I speak for the group when I say we would welcome any help when that day comes.
And Casimir will nod. I think this will be my last night with your group. I think I will travel out in the morning.
Jinx will nod and be sure not to smile. But he'll say, I understand. I wish you well on the road back to your people.
And I wish you successes wherever it is that you live.
Thank you. I think Jinx will, once I'm assuming Casimir will become kind of introspective again,
Mm-hmm.
and as the sun, no, well, there's no sun. As it gets darker, Jinx will get up and start walking a bit of a perimeter,
Mm-hmm.
um, for the remainder of his watch.
Yeah, for sure. Your watch goes by without issue. With that, it comes to our second watch with Balin.
Okay. $19.
Alright. I will keep that in mind as you can describe what your watch looks like to you. Or for you.
I think a much more normal watch this time. I think the previous night was just lost in thought, and I think this time, following the fight with that revenant, I think Valen would be a lot more alert this time around. Still has thoughts, of course, about everything, but mainly more focused on the watch tonight.
As you keep watch throughout your portion of the night, it is cool. The fogs come, and they sit heavy as they do in the chill. Not quite like the fog of the battlefield. But your watch goes by without issue.
Okay.
Ephraim. I will ask for a perception roll at the start of your turn. Or at the start of your watch, sorry.
Right. Ephraim's been doing kind of what he was doing before, so he may be a little bit. Yeah, so it looks like that's correct. He's a little bit distracted. He was like just by the fire, I'd say, like he was making these little wood carvings. So he made like he was thinking of the Markov kids, and he made a little fox carving, and then idly he realized he made a carving that looks almost like that dragon embossing that they saw before, and he's kind of just confused as to why that happened, and just not concentrating as much as he should around on the surroundings and what's around them.
Sort of playing off of that, catching you sort of unawares as you're carving before you quite realize what you've got. You hear the distant howl of a wolf, sort of shakes you out of it. You look down and you see what you've carved, but besides that wolf howl, nothing of note happens on your watch, and you all complete a long rest.
Right.
As morning comes, and you're all starting to pack up from camp, Casimir steps to the eastern portion of your group, and it is, I believe, time for me to return to my people. You have helped me achieve a great progress in my responsibilities to my sister. There is still more to be done, but I would like to have you at my side when I do so. So when you are ready to take the Castle Ravenloft, seek me in my abode. Like that, Casimir sets off along the Svalit Road back towards Falaki. So, ahead of you, you have a choice. You have the southern route that leads to you don't know quite where. Or you can continue going on western direction to get to the Wizard of Wines in about a day and a half.
I still think we need to drop this gemstone off.
Hand off the pine cone, the
The
hot
pine cone, yeah.
the hot potato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey man, it's your problem now.
All right. So, then I will ask for a travel roll from somebody, can be anybody, to see how well your day of travel goes. This will be a survival roll.
I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll say Ephraim's been just a bit distracted since his watch and the morning.
That was a cocked die and nearly a natural one, but it was a 13. So
Okay. As your group moves, you're getting good time. When it'd be Jinx and Ephraim who notice this. It's been a few hours, but you are certain that you are being watched. And as you sort of glance around, you would notice in the woods beside you as you travel, looks to be eyes low to the ground. Wolves.
We feel like we're being followed or hunted. He's gonna ask uh, Jinx.
Yeah, I think I see wolves in the woods over there.
Do we go past or do we go through?
Can I insight check a wolf?
Sure. Give me an insight roll.
What kind of vibes am I picking up? That's a natural 20 for a 29.
There's not many wolves that are in this pack. out maybe 4 of them. But with your 29, you see an intelligence in their eyes as they watch and follow you from the woods. They seem to be werewolves. But with a 29, you think back to the wolves you had encountered in the caves, and those ones should be... They have no reason to follow or pay mind to you. They showed no interest in it, so this one makes you think that perhaps these are aligned to Strahd.
Yeah, I will pass that along, and I'll make sure that Valen and Flat Top also get that information. Seems like Strahd has some spies keeping tabs.
Say
So they're
can-
just sorry.
You can go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna like observe. Like he's just gonna say like, "Are we? They're watching us, but are they intending to hunt us? I still. Huh.
That was going to lead me to say that we probably shouldn't attack them unless they attack us. If that's the case,
I yeah, if they were a part of the pack that had no issues with us, I would say live and let live, but do we want them reporting back to Strahd about where we are and what we're doing?
I don't know.
Well, are they close enough that we can hail them?
Yes and no. So they've been sort of in the woods trailing you, following behind you. So if you try and hail them, that would alert them that you are aware of them. Like, they've not been, like, directly behind you following you. They've been trying to keep hidden. You guys, Jinx and Ephraim just have high enough passive perceptions that you were able to spot them.
I'm just gonna think out loud. So we know they're following us. They don't know that we know that they're following us. And immediately, as he says this, he's just gonna like press his claws to his head, just like as if he has like a stress migraine. He's like, I'm already getting a headache. Thinking is hard. Um, the simple thing would be to keep them from relaying what they find. Do we have enough perception to know how many there are? Like it's not that many, right?
Was there 4?
There was 4.
I mean, a big face looked at us out of the clouds once, so Strahd probably has other ways of knowing where we are and what we're doing.
Maybe we just keep walking towards. The only thing is, I do not want to. The Mardikovs have been hospitable, and I don't want to come to their door with trouble at our back. It's just rude.
That's a very good point.
Okay. As you continue on, you pass by a few more trails and turn points off. You can see the tower in the distance. On the first turn off, more northernly. Jinx and Valen, you recall that this is the tower that Rictavio said you'd be able to find him at.
The bard with the saber-toothed tiger.
Yes.
Okay.
You pass by another turning point, which you know is where the path you took to the mountains through Selenka Path all the way up to the Amber Temple was down that path. And you pass by the another bridge. This one, of course, the Raven River Crossroads. It's a little bit beyond that crossroad where heading across the river leads to Krex. But you are heading southward. We'll say that you get about here before you need to take time to rest again. So,
Are our tails still following us?
they are.
I so badly want to just pivot without warning, like a pitcher trying to pick off someone stealing a base and just fling my really sharp dagger at one of them.
Sure. If you'd like.
If you're going to attack them, I'm fast enough that I could. Well, might as well do it while we're still far enough away from the winery.
Yeah. I would like to do that, but I won't do that unless we're in agreement that we're to attack them. But that's what's going through Jinx's mind right now.
Let's put it this way. You don't know the intention of these wolves. They do seem to have an intelligence. They seem to be werewolves under loyalty to Strahd. They could continue to just follow you, take note of things. They might follow you even as far as the winery. Or you bed down for camp, and they take advantage of a resting period. Where they do nothing. And just cause your minds to go continue spinning wheels of what ifs. It really
Let's make a
is.
camp, but not rest. Or rather, let's break for a camp and then we can wait for them to come to us. Maybe there's a chance to parlay. And if not, well, sometimes the best way to heal a wound is to cauterize it first.
Alright. Then I'll ask for the group to make survival rolls for setting up a camp.
Ooh, that's a 10.
13.
13.
Okay. Alright. As we stop your camp, if I understand correctly, your intention is to not immediately go into a resting period, but to wait for perhaps a interaction from the wolves.
I'm gonna say Ephraim probably tries to find a tree where he can just stand beside and just again, he's not nearly sneaky enough to hide completely, but just present a non-threatening but ready appearance.
Ephraim,
Yes.
as you are looking to find a suitable position, you find a corpse not too far from your camp.
Can I see how is it a fresh corpse?
As you get closer to inspect it, it's strange. As when you look over this corpse, it's tall. It's got some muscle, but mostly lean, and it's covered in dirt and mire, but as you get closer, you can tell that it's not human. It looks like a dragonborn. In fact, it almost looks like you.
Ephraim is confused, but at the same time he's thinking like a, well, not a doctor, but like again, it's odd to see how did he die, and he's still thinking like this is somebody else. It's like how did he die? Is the first immediate thought that's in his brain as he beholds the corpse.
As you're looking around, there's no clear sign. Uh, So you go and you try and perhaps move a portion of it to see if you can see better, but as soon as you touch this corpse, you watch as it begins to melt away in front of you. First the grime, then the scales, then the muscles, until all you are left with is a skeleton.
Yikes. Instinctively, he's gonna do two things. He's gonna step back again, kind of in surprise and fear, and kind of almost by instinct, he's been gripping his spear as a kind of walking stick. That's kind of force of habit for him. And then just out of force of habit, he's gonna kind of almost yelp in surprise a little bit and take a quick leap back, but at the same time he's just gonna kind of stab at the skeleton with his spear as just kind of a force of habit, as a threat response, I'd say, almost instinctively. Does it actually hit anything? Like, does the spear hit the bone?
Yeah, the bones are there and they sort of jostle a bit from being struck by a spear.
What
Do
is
we hear the
this?
yell?
Oh, 100%.
Jinx will look over at Valen and just, we should go see what's up, right?
Yeah, he's gonna look back over his shoulder and just like wave them over as well, like just kind of shaking in place a bit.
What's wrong?
Sorry, Valen, you were saying something. I interrupted.
I wasn't.
Okay, right. Everyone's gonna point at the skeleton. He's gonna say that. I I might. I don't know if I'm seeing things. I'm pretty sure that this seemed like it was my body, and then it melted.
Does the skeleton look like a dragonborn skeleton to us?
Roll me a medicine check.
Do that. Not 20.
Nice.
15.
It does have the traits of a dragonborn skeleton, but doesn't look fresh at all. It looks like it's been here for who knows how long.
You said it looked like yourself.
Yes. And he's kind of like just pausing to think, like he's kind of exhaling and heaving a little bit from what he's seeing, or what he just saw. Bronze scales. I haven't seen myself in a mirror and I don't know how long, but this was me.
I think we've been in Barovia long enough that Valen would not have us. He's the furthest thing from surprised at this point. That's pretty common here. This place has a habit of playing tricks on your mind. Makes you see things that aren't there. That aren't real.
I mean, I've heard of spirits by the roads, and this, seeing seeing yourself, that hasn't happened to me before.
It has to be, and it's a very strange feeling.
When the three of you weren't here, I'd think maybe that lichen moss had. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten some of the lichen to test if it was usable or edible, and it just coming into effect days later. but he is gonna do one thing though. Again, it's probably seeing things, but just to be on the safe side, he is going to maybe not bury the bones, but just bundle the bones together and then just kind of build a little fire around it, just like a little funeral pyre.
Yeah. Easily done. As you shut this, you can return to your camp and it would be Jinx and Ephraim that would notice what looks to be paw prints in the grounds of your camp.
Just around, leading in, leading away, or
Around within it, but you don't see any sign of the wolves besides this.
Does it look like anything was taken?
Give me I'll say an investigation check.
16.
Yeah, actually, something has been taken. Jinx. As you're looking over your stuff, your signed copy of Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites is not there.
What? Rude!
Pick your book.
It took my book!
You did take your book.
Can I kill them now? That wasn't nice.
If you knew where they were, perhaps.
Can I tell if they're close?
You don't see them.
Nothing else valuable, though, is gone.
Not from your bag.
Ephraim's gonna say, there was that, after seeing the paw prints, he's gonna say, there was that, isn't there a folk tale about three bears at a house? I'm gonna check my bedroll to see if it's been slept in.
As you go to check your bedroll, give me a investigation check.
Something I'm not good at, but let's see. 18.
Well, your bedroll has not been slept in you would notice that you would notice that you are missing your water skin that you had left next to it.
He's gonna come out of his tent and say, "These wolves are dicks."
Wait!
But like, why? Like, so like, you know, like they took your book. They took my water skin. We're we're steps away from a river. That's just rude.
No, I'm really afraid to look if I've had anything stolen.
Yeah. Also, Faye, Jinx now having the ability to scry. A thought occurs to me. They don't have to keep tailing us if they have our belongings. Strahd can now just scry on us, I guess, whenever he wants to. That's my deduction.
That could 100% be. If Valen would like to see if something is missing from Valen, you are more than welcome to investigate.
12.
Valen, you can't find your tinderbox.
Oh.
Doesn't, you don't find too much use for it since you can create your own magic, but if everyone else is losing things, seems that you were not kept out of that.
My tinderbox.
Okay, but like, those two things seem like you could buy new ones. Where am I supposed to find another signed copy of that book without going back to that horrible place?
We're also gonna be like, wait. He's gonna be very confused that Valen has a tinderbox in the first. He's like, wait, you can't just snap your fingers and make fire. Wait, why do you need a tinderbox?
It's just something I have on me. Above table, it was part of my starting equipment. So.
At this point, like our the wolves are kind of gone at this point. I'm guessing, like they're not like readily visible to us.
Correct.
Hmm. Oh, we've already made camp. And it's not like they're gonna ransack our things twice.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there. So, Do you set up a watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only need 4 hours for a long rest, so I'll go first.
Okay.
Ephraim can go second or third. Doesn't Theirs makes no difference, I think.
I'll go second just because I haven't done that order yet today.
All right. As your all right, so just make sure it's Valen, Jinx, then Ephraim. Or did I get that mixed up?
Nope,
Nope,
that's right.
Okay, cool. Just had to double check. Let's get a perception roll from Valen as our first watch.
Ooh, 9.
All right, with the 9, I will keep that in mind. So, what does your watch look like?
Well, definitely keeping an eye out for those wolves, but I think at this point Valen has gotten accustomed to the fact that I don't think they can really go anywhere without their movements being tracked. And I don't know why, but he's got a feeling that with what we're up to between this delivering the second gem pinecone and about to visit this manor, I think Strahd will take an even greater interest in what we're doing. That is what he's thinking.
Guys, you keep those thoughts throughout your mind. What's your passive insight? Or not passive insight, passive perception?
Passive perception is 13.
You as you're sort of ruminating during your watch, you would see something nearby. In one of the low branches of a tree.
Low branches. How far away?
Not terribly far from camp at all. Maybe on the order of about 20 or so feet.
Low branch. So it's hanging from the tree?
So the tree is 20 feet away, and then the low branches are, you could easily reach up and grab it with your hand.
Oh, okay. And there's something up there?
You see something there, yeah. Looks to be from this area, some sort of parchment or paper.
Yeah, for a second I thought it was like another raven or something, but It's just should be careful when I say it's just a piece of paper, but I will. If it just looks like paper, then I'll go. I'll go grab it.
As you grab it, and you'd see that this paper has something on it, and as soon as you see it, you know deep within you that you've seen this before. Roll me a history check.
History. Yeah.
What was that?
I got a 5.
5. As you walk back to camp with this, it sits with you that you know that you've seen this before, and you're thinking on it. And you're sort of lost in it, and it's... The rest of your watch passes, and you don't even really recognize the passage of time going until Jinx is getting up for his watch, and it sort of snaps you out of it, and Jinx, of course, you would see Valen sort of with this paper trying to, it seems, figure something out.
What you got there?
It was up in the tree. Found it during my watch. There's something on it, but I know I've seen it before, but I just can't place it.
You know, I found a letter in a tree here once.
Really?
Jinx will reach into his pocket to try and pull it out. Do I still have mine?
Oh.
Yes, you still have your letter.
Okay.
And it's as Jinx is pulling this letter out that Valen, it hits you what this is that you're looking at. It's drawing. A drawing that you did years and years and years ago as a young child. It's your imaginary friend.
What? Okay.
Is yours a letter too?
It's a drawing. When I was a kid.
Oh.
I figure I'll turn it around so Jinx can see it.
It's definitely the scrawling of a child trying to give an artistic touch to whatever they experience.
You drew that?
I suppose I did. My childhood was a long time ago.
Mine was a letter addressed to me, and it seemed through context that it was from one of my parents. But I don't know who they are or how it would have gotten here.
I'll roll this back up, but it's a little unsettling.
Jeez, that's you and Ephraim today. What am I gonna find on my watch?
Your book.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Um, you know what? Why don't we find out what you might find on your watch? As Valen can go to his trance, maybe not as peaceful as he had hoped. And Jinx, let's get a perception roll.
All right, Jinx carefully tucks the letter away and anxiously looks around. That's a 21.
Would you like to describe your watch?
Well, I am disturbed that Ephraim saw his own corpse and Valen found a sketch he made as a child. I'm thinking back to the times that I've heard voices calling my name that seem to be coming from everywhere and nowhere. And that's going through my mind, but I'm also hyper aware that we were followed all day long before werewolves that could still be keeping tabs on us. So I'm trying to do a little circuit, a tight one, because I want to be far enough away that werewolves can come back in and steal more of our shit. But I'm moving so that I can keep eyes and ears in all directions.
Well, it seems lucky for you. Or perhaps maybe not so lucky for your nerves. Your watch goes by without any issue. Which brings us to Ephraim. Your turn for the watch. Let's start with a perception roll.
Right. Groggily get out of his tent. It's 19.
Beautiful.
He's a little anxious and vigilant, I guess.
All right. And then what does your watch look like?
He's going to do something similar to, like, he's gonna do something that kind of just calms him, which is, again, as before, he was carving before, and that took an odd turn, so he's gonna avoid carving. He has a deck of cards, just like a normal set of a normal set of play cards. So he's just gonna be fiddling with it idly as he just wanders around the perimeter of the camp, just, flicking a card up, catching it, flicking up, catching it, shuffling the deck, that kind of thing. He doesn't, again, he's not a card player. He does not use this properly, but this is just something idle to keep his mind occupied, in a sense.
Okay. Well,
And he will ask as he takes over the watch, like, I'm gonna say he's probably missed what Valen saw. He's so probably gonna ask James, like, how did the last two watches go, as he takes his watch.
Mine went by. Didn't notice anything. Valen found some parchment in a tree from his childhood. So that's a thing that happened. But I've had that happen before too, and he kind of pulls the letter out, doesn't open it, just shows it, but tucks it back away. It's this place, kind of like earlier, and he motions in the direction where you had yelped before.
Like, look off at the distance side, and you're like, well, A good death wouldn't hurt if it meant something. You're just gonna like again thinking out loud, just being very pensive, and then he's gonna say, "Okay, have a good rest," and just gonna keep just shuffling his cards and walking around.
Well, your watch goes by without issue. You all complete a long rest, and we will pick up after that long rest in our next session.